Hi, in this video, we are going to get a relationship or make a formula for finding the volume of this solid. This solid is a composite solid made up of conical top. In this question, it is referred to as the conical cap, and then we have a cylindrical base. So let's talk about each of these volumes separately. For the conical part, we are given that for the volume of cone is 1/3 of pi r square h, where r is the radius and h is the height. Okay, so 1/3 of that volume of the cone. In this case, the radius is this length, and we are given that diameter is d. It means if diameter is d, then the radius is half of that. We will have to use d by 2 for the radius. I'm going to use this formula. It's 1/3 pi times the radius, which is d over 2 squared, times the height, which is also d. So there we are. It's d cubed pi over this 2 squared will be 4. 4 times 3 is 12. Similarly, volume of the cylinder is pi r square h. And again, the radius is diameter divided by 2. That we get, and also the height is d. So height is d, it's pi d cubed over 4. Now we have these two volumes, and thus the total volume will be simply the sum of these two volumes. So pi times d cubed over 12 and pi times d cubed over 4. It's simple addition of fractions. Whatever this is in the numerator, it's the same. So let's say a over 12 and a over 4. In that case, we simply make the denominators equal to the LCM. And here we need to make just one change, and we'll get the same denominators. We call them like fractions. If we have like fractions, we'll write the denominator once and combine the numerators. It's a plus 3a, that is a total of 4a, and this is a over 3. I use this example where a is representing all that, so it's pi times d cubed over 3. Finally, we have got the formula for finding the total volume of this solid. Now it's being asked that if the diameter is 3, then what's the volume? Since we have already expressed this formula in terms of diameter, so it's very easy to just plug in the value of d here, which is 3 pi times 3 cubed over 3. That's 27 pi over 3, or simply 9 times pi. Now, examiner may always have a trick. If sometimes the examiner asks for exact answer, then you do not use the value of pi or the square root. Just don't give a decimal answer. But if you have to give a decimal answer, remember, always use a calculator value of pi. A calculator value. Do not use 3.142 unless otherwise stated. Do not use 22 over 7. Always use the calculator value if it's a paper 1, paper 2. So 9 times pi, 9 shift, and this button at the bottom here. This is how you type, and we get 28.27. 28.27, And if it is three significant figures, your answer is 28.3 cubic centimeter as the total volume when the radius is 3. Uh, um, Sorry, this is meter, so it's not centimeter, it's meter, it's cubic meter. And then if the total volume is 20 cubic meter, find D. So we'll use the same formula in which we made in part A, and we will use the value of V equals to 20. For C part, we will set this equal to 20. 20 is equal to pi d cubed over 3. And if you do the inverse operations, 3 will be multiplied on the opposite side. So it's 3 times 20, 60. Pi was multiplied, so we will divide by pi. And if you have to find D, simply take the cube root of both sides. Now this again will be the exact answer. This is the exact answer. If you want an answer which is correct to 3 decimal places, then this is how we type. This is any root here we will use cube root. Well, another way of typing in the cube root, if you find it difficult to type the cube root, is your number, which is 60 divided by pi 60 divided by pi cube, yeah. Okay, so this is 60 divided by pi. This is with the button shift in my calculator. And how do you insert this power? It's to the power this cap button, and you type 1 divided by 3. That will be counted as in the power. And this gives us 2.67. 2.67, that is diameter. So it's a single length, it's meters. Diameter is expressed in meters, and that's correct to 3 significant figures. This is also correct to 3 significant figures. Thank you.